Welcome to Watch the Game podcast. I'm your man L.A. Cheatham.
Here's your Medical. What's up, people? What's going on? What's going on?
It's always something going on. We've had a few setbacks
yeah, for
on
sure.
both ends. Myself, I've been under the weather and had no choice but to watch the games. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get with the people and tell them how we felt about the matchups. I think you can agree that I think we haven't spoken to them since. We haven't went on since the tournament actually tipped off.
Yeah,
And I think we were right. If I can recap to get us to this Final Four stages, we both agreed that Purdue would be the first number one team, number one seed out.
yep.
I think
Expected them
that
to win
held
the
true.
first game, though. Yeah,
Yeah, I did too. I expected Purdue to beat Fairleigh Dickinson, but that they didn't do that. They had matchup problems with the quick guards and this. I think it was a 6'7" big that they had. To just attack Big Edie at the rim, and they had no answers for uh, anyone outside of Edie just scoring buckets. And it just seemed like as the game waned and went on to the waning moments of the game, it just seemed like Purdue didn't have enough guys that wanted to make shots or make any type of plays, and we questioned that backcourt from the beginning. I know I did.
yeah. I mean, like I said, we didn't expect them to get out that first weekend of the tournament for the reasons you just named. Guard play, they didn't really have a secondary option other than Edie. It was dumping into Edie, let him make some. If they was hitting threes, okay, cool, they could compete. But we saw it down the stretch. I think they went 5-5 down the stretch to close out, regular season conference play. Um, they had trouble with the press in the Big Ten tournament. It was the blueprint was written on how to beat them, and Fairleigh Dickinson just came out and beat them and took care of business. So it wasn't a shocker.
Yeah, they pretty much, and there was an interesting piece on a video on, I forget the coach's name, the Fairleigh Dickinson coach at the time, because he's been hired on at Iona, and Coach Rick Pitino left the Iona program to take over the St. John's program in the Big East. But um, after his team won I think of the first four game, it was a clip of him telling his guys, "I really looking at Purdue. I really think we can get them."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they actually got them. And I think they ended up losing the FAU uh, in the
Next
I
round, I
guess will
think.
be, yeah, they lost to FAU in the next round. FAU is a story in itself for many different reasons. Me personally, um, local kid from Gary, Indiana, John L. Davis took the headlines opening up the tournament, but that team looks like one of the most balanced teams. Excuse me, in the tournament right now. I mean, literally they do. Coming
Mhm.
out of nowhere, out of Conference USA, FAU looks like probably the one of the most balanced teams in the tournament right now.
Well, I think their record right now. They only lost 3 games. I think they like
Yeah,
32-3 or something like.
yeah.
I, would you see them records like that from schools out these, I guess, these mid major conferences and whatnot? It's kind of almost misleading, but when they can put it together in the tournament, you see like, oh, I see why they 32-3 or whatever their record is. Because I fully expected, I didn't expect them to get past Memphis. Memphis, we just saw Memphis beat Houston for the what is it, the AAC championship or whatever conference they in the
Yeah.
Sunday before, and they came out, took care of Memphis, and um, like I said, one of my team I've been fond of watching all year, Kansas State. they knocked them off to get to the Final Four. So you see why they 32-3, and they had athletes. What's the big kid's name? Lavin, or what, the big kid from the, what I'm talking about, the center on their team. He came to play and he was giving them just bonus points because I hadn't seen him do that, and he just showed up heavy versus Kansas State. So he outplayed their bigs for sure. But yeah, all that to say, like, you see why they only lost 3 games this year. You put them in the Big Ten, they
Are you talking about FAU's big man Golden?
Golden, yeah.
Yeah, the big kid from Russia.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just such a balanced team. Timely shooting from multiple guards. I'll get into their roster a little bit later, because like I said, when I first saw that they were in the tournament, the biggest thing to me was I get a chance to see a local kid, Jonell Davison, a kid that I seen play in high school at 21st Century High School in Gary, Indiana. And I hadn't seen him in high school, I mean in college, since he left high school. And after seeing them defeat, it wasn't a shocker that they beat Fairleigh Fairleigh Dickinson, but after seeing Fairleigh Dickinson beat Indiana and looking at the how close the seed, well, because I think Memphis was an 8 seed, and I think they had FAU at a 9 seed.
Yeah.
And I felt like, so that's usually that 8-9 game is usually an even matchup.
Exactly.
That's one matchup they usually get right. That's usually one of the better games in the tournament in either bracket, 8 and 9 seed. And after Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue, I felt like, oh, okay, I get a chance to see Jonell play against Memphis. Lo and behold, they beat Memphis. I mean, they turn around and beat Fairleigh Dickinson, which I wasn't surprised, because I didn't think Fairleigh Dickinson would be there. But as this tournament has gone on, they have had different players just make shots and put guys in the right situations. Where when they beat Kansas State, it was Golden, just dumping it down to Golden, and then hit timely threes from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, my dark horse in this tournament that's remaining, you got to say, is FAU. They got San Diego State,
Which
the
I
team
think
that
they
beat.
can beat. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
they got enough offensive scoring points. They can play the hell out some defense, but I don't think they can
yeah,
put enough points up to stay with FAU.
yeah, and see, that's another thing, and you wonder.
I think we just lost you. Look like we having some technicals right now. I think LA froze up. I'm sure he'll be right back in a hot second. So while he doing that, we're gonna just take out to a little break right quick, and we'll be right back.